Hello everyone and welcome back to our new fight study. Today's fight is going to be the complete fighter, Finito Lopez versus, not sure this guy's name, Will Grisby. Okay, Ricardo Lopez. I was just thinking of what fight to study, and I couldn't believe that I haven't done a video on Ricardo Lopez yet, so I haven't watched him in a long time, so maybe I was watching him for a while, but then I just haven't watched him for a long time, maybe a year or so. But I think he is a complete fighter. He did everything. So we're gonna go through some of the things that he did. I haven't watched this fight, I don't think so, but I've watched many of his other fights, and we'll see what happens. He's from the Nacho Beristain fight school. Nacho Beristain, I did a whole breakdown on many of his fighters. Zaragoza, there's one guy, I forgot his name, the Marquez brothers. And I already talked about them in the past, but today is going to be more about Ricardo Lopez. Now you see how he holds his left hand a little bit more out right here. So they keep Manuel Marquez, Rafael Marquez, Zaragoza, and there's another guy that I forgot his name. They all held their lead hand a little bit to the outside. They all stood a little bit taller because they constantly went over to the left side to use that left hand with the uppercut and the hook and the jab. So they weren't really leaning onto their right like you would see like James Toney do or Floyd Mayweather do and all those guys. They were more upright, more on their front foot, and more they use their lead hand a lot. Now, some of these things I'm refreshing in my mind because I haven't seen him in a fight in a while, like I said. A very good feinter. You can see how he's feinting. He's moving his head, keeps that lead hand out, feints the jab, then shoots it. I wish more fighters did this. I always try to teach fighters to do this. Feint the jab, then throw it. Feint. He feinted, I swear he did. Feint, jab. Okay, don't just stick out your jab. Feint it. Let's see the reaction that they're going to give you from the feint and then jab. They might waste their defense on that feint and then be open for that jab, for that real jab. Now, all of Nacho Beristain's fighters, they took really big steps in the ring. Like right here, you could see from far away. Okay, this is another thing we're going to pay attention to, the footwork of Ricardo Lopez, because him, Marquez, and a lot of other fighters took steps in from far away. They use their left hand a lot. We'll see it happen. You see how he's standing more upright right here? So left hand's a little bit to the outside because it's active with the feints, with the jabs, hooks, and uppercuts that we're going to see in a bit. Right hand is up. He's standing tall. And they use their feet a lot for defense and for attacking, but they also move their heads. One of the best styles I've ever watched, or I've studied, because I studied their style. One of the best styles ever. Could work for any. Most of his fighters, Nacho, were little fighters, but I think this is a thing that could work for heavier fighters. So you see how they put I keep saying they because I studied all of his fighters, but I'm going to talk about Ricardo Lopez now. I got to lock in. I hate that word. You see how he keeps that left hand out, the right hand up, and they look like an amateur style. Like think if like you're watching an amateur fighter, they kind of look like that sometimes, not all the time, but they do look very amateurish with their hand position. Like see how he's standing right here. This is something you would see in an amateur fight. By amateur, I don't mean a bad fighter. I mean just like the amateur style, like Olympic boxing style. And you see how he's using his feet a lot so far for his defense. So he hasn't really used his hands a lot, like to catch or block. He's just moving back from punches for now. I'm not saying he doesn't use his hands, but he could get away with his footwork, so why not use it? If you can get away with your feet and not let them hit you at all, why take a punch to the glove? And you see how his head... Now, this is something I like about great fighters, is they move with purpose. They don't move, even though they're calm, they move with purpose. Look at his eyes, how he's looking around, head side to side. He's looking around. He's looking for something and he's moving in with purpose. This puts fear in another fighter, all right? So when you're moving forward, look like you're looking for something. You know when you walk in a room because you lost something and you're looking for it, you're walking in with a purpose. I don't know if that makes sense. But when you're walking forward in the ring, you got to move in with purpose. Watch how Ricardo Lopez is moving in. His eyes are open. He's moving his head looking for something. And his opponent's watching that. Right? This puts doubt in the opponent. Like, what does this guy see? What does this guy see? Why is he looking left and right? What does he see in my own stance that might be an opening? That's one of the thoughts. There he just goes for a little slip. And then goes to the body right away. We already talked about he uses his left hand a lot. A gentleman in the ring too. See how he's moving. And this is one of the main reasons you want to keep your left hand out a little bit and always active, moving it, shaking it, moving it around. Even when you're not jabbing, is you keep it active, because when you need it for a quick reaction, it's there for you. If your left hand is just sitting on your face and it's not active at all, it's very hard to use it real quick because it's not in motion, right? You want to keep your lead hand in motion at all times, whether you're jabbing, feinting with it, moving it around, just so when you need it, it's right there. You're already moving it, so it's easier to use it when you need it. So watch right here. See, his opponent throws the right hand and he could quickly throw the jab in his face to get him off of him. And he comes in with that long guard. Now, from here, I don't know why he would come in with this long guard. There's no reason. You could just walk up, so that's something I'm questioning a little bit. But I just want to point something out right here, is how you make, kind of looks like a praying mantis right here. I want to show you something right here, is the left foot. If you keep your left foot ahead of you, like most fighters do, if you keep your left foot ahead of you and you want a quick short jab, right, that you could like throw really quickly, keep the left hand right on top of your... This is actually a perfect frame because of the ropes right here. But imagine a rope right at Ricardo Lopez's glove, and a rope that goes all the way down to his feet. His left hand is right over his foot. So when he does step in with that foot, like say he steps in here or about here, that jab only has to travel from here to here, right? So it's not traveling from all the way here from his face all the way out to here. All he's doing is from here to here, okay? Now he didn't hold his hand this much out, so he did keep it around right here, but you could see how short of a distance the left hand actually has to travel when he wants to jab with it. We'll see if he does it later on, and we'll try to talk about it a little bit more. But I really like how Nacho Berestein's fighters, they keep their lead hand out. It makes the jab a lot faster. It makes the hook harder to see because they all start from out here. And you could drop it to the body like Marquez did. Drop it to the body, come around with the hook. You could do a lot with it. We'll see if he does it so we could talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, and he's moving his head with purpose. He's not just coming in straight, just like a great fighter should. And he's moving. A little bit holding there. Still the first round, still like a feeling out round, but he's getting that jab to land. And he did a lot of this where he would like, I don't know if he's stutter stepping right here because I can't see his feet. But you see like feint, and then he pops out the jab. Here you could see how the left hand is right on top of that left foot, right? So they both are in line together, and they come out together, they come back together. Let's see, let's go back a little bit more here. So it's here. Boom, that's a great jab where it comes up and it lands at the same time that the foot lands. Now that one didn't land very cleanly. He's still pretty far. Moves away there. Nice feint. Let's see right here what happens with that feint. I'm just trying to stop a lot in the first round just to remind myself of all the things that he did. So feint, and you see how he got his opponent stuck for a quick second right here. This is what I want to show you guys. The power of the feint. Now he was just too far to land that right hand, but look, he's moving in. He's going to give him a feint. His opponent gets stuck for half a second. And he misses with that right hand because he's too far away. Let's watch it again. It looks like his opponent might have set up for a right hand too. Let's see. His opponent kind of hesitated for a quick second. He moved in, and then he got right back out. So far, like I said, he hasn't used his hands for defense so much as his feet. And that's what you want to do in the first round. Don't let your opponent feel like they could touch you. Let them know they could get away from them, and it'll make them a little bit more hesitant to lead with punches because they think they can't hit you. And he's keeping a pretty big distance between him and his opponent, but like I said, they do step big. Okay, him, Marquez, and a lot of Nacho Burstein's, I can't say his last name right, I'll just say Nacho's fighters, they stepped in big, right? They didn't, like, they took small steps leading up, but from this distance, look how big of a step he's going to take. Like, he's back here, and then he's going to load up that back foot, and look at that big step. Now, I talked about this in the Roberto Duran lesson on how to fight like Duran. I said Duran took that last step, and it was a big step just to get to his opponent, and that's something sometimes you have to commit to. But watch Ricardo Lopez here. He's going to load up that back foot. He's going to bring it up first, okay? And he's on his toes. Now he could shoot off that back foot, and he's going to take a big step forward. Boom with that right hand. Still didn't connect. Still the first round. Distance isn't really understood yet. Let's see if he gets his distance in a couple more rounds. There's a legend. Okay, Nacho Ignacio, I don't know how to say his name. Beristain. Think Burr and then Stain with an I in the middle. Beristain. Nah, I'm still struggling. Another thing that I liked about Ricardo Lopez is the mental discipline. When he comes out of the corner right here, we're going to see it right here. When he comes out of the corner, he comes up with his hands up before the bell even rings. Watch right here. Puts his hands up. That is something that, watch his opponent right here and watch him. This is something that might seem like it's not necessary to do because the bell hasn't even rang yet. But this is something that it shows that he practices this in training, right? This is something that comes from discipline, and discipline is doing something over and over again. And it just shows a discipline to keep his hands up. Maybe he's reminding himself to keep his hands up throughout the fight before the round starts. But this is something I really liked about Ricardo Lopez, is how he put his hands up before the bell even sounded. And you could see his opponent, if you compared both just from this frame, you could tell this guy's more, what's the word? He's more, I forgot the word. What's when someone is ready? He's more prepared. Ricardo Lopez looks prepared. His opponent looks like he's unprepared. Just from this frame, if you knew nothing about the fighters. And this is something that I really liked about him. I just want to emphasize that point right there, because I really liked how he kept his hands up before the round started. Just shows how much, like how disciplined he was with that. I said the same thing over and over again. Please forgive me. I was just trying to make a point. You see that left hand moving, feinting, quick jab because it's not coming out from his face. Moving his head side to side, sticking that jab out. This is something, sorry to stop again, but this is something you're going to see him do a lot, is these half jabs, right? And he throws it with perfect technique right at his fighter's eyes. Now, this is something that I made a video also about before, but this is something that I would advise a lot of fighters to do, because a lot of fighters, what they do is they only throw their jab out they do feint, but they only throw their jab out long when they're going to make contact or they think they're actually going to make contact. You could throw a long jab. You're not leaning in with it, so there's no threat of a overhand right. You could just throw the jab like this. Just stick it out full length almost, like right there, and bring it back. All right? You lose nothing. You cover your opponent's vision for a quick second, and you get them used to your left hand moving. So when you do stick out a real jab, they're not always ready for it because they're used to your left hand moving in and out, in and out. But if you only throw your jab at full length when you're trying to hit them, then they know it's a real jab every time. It's a different type of feint, a different type of distance measurement. I really like doing this. There's no reason not to. Roberto Duran did that also. If you watch his fight with Marvin Hagler, you'll see it a lot. See, this is what I was talking about right here. Let's see. Okay, he's going to stick out that jab, bring it back. Kind of move his left hand up and down a little bit. Goes down to the left, goes down to the right, and sticks his jab from there. Now this is something else, is don't always throw your jab from up here. Throw it from different spots, all right? So here, like here, you could come up with a jab. Ricardo Lopez goes back up, goes down to the right, okay? Throws his jab from here, right? You don't always have to be like, I'm going to pretend this is Ricardo Lopez. You don't always have to throw your jab from here. You could move your head at any place of the ring, like to the left, to the right. You could bend down. You could be up. You could be in any position and throw your jab from there. He's going to throw it from here. It comes up at a different angle, and it's just more variety in your jab. It's the same type of jab that you're going to throw anyway, but you're just throwing it from a different spot. Just makes your opponent see different things. Makes you see different things, see different openings you can get. Nice right hand right there while he's moving back. Oh, it looked like connected, but he was already moving back, so I don't think he took a lot of the damage of that right hand or a lot of its power. Now this is something I said that Marquez did a lot, and they come from the same school. It's feinting the jab, dropping low, and then wrapping it around into a left hook, right? Now just that one move right here, just this part, so the feint and the drop, okay, just from here, you could either come back with another jab, just from this angle, you could come up with a left uppercut, you could come back with a body shot, you could come back with the left, with the hook to the head like I said, but just off that one feint and you dropping down with that lead hand, dropping that down right there, but he comes back with the left hook, then the left uppercut. But they start getting tricky with it. They start throwing it, like I said, to the body and mixing it up. Sorry, guys. And another reason that I like Ricardo Lopez so much, or watching him, he reminds me of what boxing is. So there's a couple fighters that when I watch a couple fights that aren't really boxing or a little bit lower level, I like to watch the high level boxers operate just to remind myself what great boxing looks like. Ricardo Lopez, Alexis Arguello, Floyd Mayweather Jr., boxers like that, Larry Holmes. I like to watch them just to remind myself of what real boxing looks like, because they do everything. They don't just fight. They box. Now we're gonna see those long fake jabs from Ricardo Lopez again. He's gonna throw another one, I think. See, it's a full jab. He's just not trying to land it. He's throwing it from too far away. It's a measuring stick. Now he knows that just from here he needs this much to actually hit his opponent. So he just needs he basically just needs to step in with his left foot, and he'll be catching his opponent. He's putting the glove in his opponent's face. His opponent might not be able to see with full vision because the left hand is in his face, but he doesn't throw a jab there. I think he's going to do it later on. I'm talking a lot today. Again, uses his feet to get away from his opponent. There, he dropped that left hand, came back with a jab instead of the lead left hook. Nice 1-2, steps out. You see right here. Another thing of this jab is it teaches you what your opponent's going to do. So based on the reaction to this jab, maybe they slip, maybe they try to catch it, maybe they slipped here, they slip here, they step back from it. It tells you how they're going to react to your jab. So when you do throw the real jab, you could quickly follow it up. So if his opponent slipped to the left, then what Ricardo Lopez could do is throw this fake jab and then come up with the right uppercut, because he most of the time his opponent slips here. If his opponent steps back or leans back from that fake jab, Ricardo Lopez can step in with another double jab, two real jabs, and then a right hand. If his opponent slips to the left or to his opponent's right, he could throw that fake jab, pull it back, and throw a left uppercut or a lead hook. So this jab tells you where your opponent's going to move. And like I said, if he keeps doing this jab, his opponent's going to get used to it and pay it no mind. But his opponent, if he does do that, he'll get a little bit lazy. And then Ricardo Lopez is going to be able to take up this real estate from here to here in front of his opponent without his opponent worrying. And then Ricardo Lopez could actually close the distance a lot faster. Just a lot of nerd stuff for you guys about the jab. His opponent's quite quick too. I like how his opponent's fighting. He's not giving him, he's stepping back from him too. There's that jab again right here. Boom. I like how his opponent timed the jab. Right now, Ricardo Lopez is throwing the fake jab, but he's throwing the real jab too far out, with like timing wise, too long. So let's see when he throws that fake jab. So he's throwing it right now here at 128. When does he throw the real jab? Let's see. Already a second. Okay, that's another fake jab. Let's see when he throws the real jab after that second fake jab. So the second fake jab was at 26. Brings it back at the end of 1 minute 26 seconds. Throws the real jab almost a half a second or a second later. Too far of a distance between the two jabs. I think he could have thrown it a little bit, the real jab a little bit after, but maybe he's trying to find something else. Nice right hook to the body by his opponent. Sorry guys, I'm really nerding out about Ricardo Lopez. I don't think I paused this much in the first two rounds as I've done with other fighters. I like how his opponent's fighting though. I'm saying opponent because I don't know his name that well. Grigsby. Nice move. Nice counter right here. Okay, Ricardo Lopez is going to stick out his jab. And watch how much, because Ricardo Lopez uses his left hand so much with the jab, the feints, the fake long jab, the uppercuts, the hooks. Watch his opponent, where his eyes are. I don't think he's staring at his right hand at all. I could be wrong from this angle, but his eyes look like they're staring at Ricardo Lopez's left hand just because of how much Ricardo Lopez is using that left hand. And look, he's about to counter. He sees that jab coming, I think, right about now. He slips it. He tries to come back with the left uppercut. And Lopez comes back with a left hook. I don't think either landed, but let's see again. That might have landed, might have not landed. But you could see how much attention he's grabbing on his left hand. Just because how much, like I said, he's feinting it, he's making it long, but not really throwing it, bringing it back. He's dropping it, coming up with a hook. He's throwing it from down here, from down here. When he bends down here, he threw it up there. And he's just gathering so much attention on his left hand that his opponent is almost exclusively paying attention to his left hand, and he's forgetting that Ricardo Lopez also has a right hand. This is just my guess. We'll see if this is true later in the fight, of course. So his opponent looks like he's paying a lot of attention to Ricardo Lopez's left hand because he's starting to counter it. Boom, boom. So it looks like he's waiting to time that left hand. But I noticed Ricardo Lopez only throws few right hands. Nice defense by Grigsby. I'm liking how he's fighting. Nice feint by Lopez, almost said Morales. Nice left hook by Grigsby. Nice footwork by Ricardo Lopez. Just getting his timing down. Let's see if he puts his hands up in this round too before the round starts. Just going to take a quick sip of some water. Hello. Don't forget to breathe before you drink your water. Oh, there's that right hand we saw at the start of the round. So clip the chin, but he was already in motion. Played it off pretty well. See, watch. Look at his hands, man. Man, look. His hand is up and his hands are down before the round even starts. Every fight I've watched of his, he does this. He sends a message to the opponent too, like, I'm ready, you're not. Or like, I'm always going to be on point. Simple things. There's those fake jabs. Nice right uppercut right there. Caught him with that right uppercut. First real right hand he caught him with. It's a full jab. And he's twisting his knuckles on it too. He does it quick, just like a real jab. I already explained why he's doing this, so I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to make your guys' ears bleed anymore with that. But just pay attention to how he keeps doing it. You see that? What did I say in the round before this? He's getting him used to seeing that left hand coming out and not doing anything. Watch. Boom. This guy thinks, oh, this guy keeps doing that. It's like a tick of his or something. Boom. Bang. Now, if Ricardo Lopez had come in with the 1-2 right away without throwing that fake jab, I think his opponent would have stepped away from that right hand. I'll watch again. See how he stood in front of him while he did that fake jab? Now it's a real jab because it's coming out full length, but it's fake because he's not throwing it to land it. Let's watch it again. See how he stays in front of him, doesn't move until a little bit too late and still catches some of that right hand on the chin. Nice left hook by Grigsby. I got to give him props for this one right here. Nice exchange. I got Grigsby winning that one. Starting to heat up a little bit more. I'm liking Grigsby how he's sticking out the jab, and Ricardo Lopez is attacking sometimes. Nice right hand by Grigsby right there. Grigsby. Oh, that was nice. He jabbed at his hand before he threw the right hand. Oh. Oh, nice right hand again. I got this round so far for Grigsby. Nice left hook by Ricardo Lopez. Gotta say, Grigsby's moving pretty well. He's showing a lot of great awareness, good defense, good offense. He's getting under that right hand a lot, which is pretty nice. Nice double left hook by Lopez. Step back with double 45-degree left hand. Jabs the body, comes up with the left hook. Oh, both these guys are aware, and they're, yeah. In these little weight classes, if you're like Ricardo Lopez, there's a lot of guys that might not be that great because there might not be that many great boxers in that weight class. That's one thing I would say about Ricardo Lopez's record. That's just the one thing, is the lower weight classes. They are talented, but they might not have as big as names as maybe one star. As like in the 147, in the welterweight, you'll have a lot of stars, or in the middleweights. The lower weight classes, because I guess people don't watch them as much. There's not that many great stars, but there's a lot of like good fighters, but I think it's easier to have, there's a bigger chance of having an easier fight. That might be bias, so don't take my word on that. Just a thought, maybe. Now Lopez he still looks like he's in control. Not just of the fight, but in control of what's gonna happen, if that makes sense. Like, he looks like he's sure of what he's gonna do. It's just taking him a little bit longer to do it. It's still the third round. His opponent's fighting well. Nice defense by his opponent. I'm really surprised by his opponent's defense, by Grigsby's defense. I just want to say what Ricardo Lopez does here. He goes down. He's going to bend his legs, right? Now, a lot of fighters, what they do is when someone bends their legs, they bend with them just to take away the advantage of not seeing what's happening. So Ricardo Lopez is going to bend down. Grigsby is going to bend down, but Grigsby kind of gets stuck for half a second, and that's enough for Ricardo Lopez to come in with the jab. But now Grigsby's going to get away from that right hand very nicely. He's going to maybe catch that left, the first one, and then he gets away from the second one. Nice defense, nice offense by Lopez, nice defense by Grigsby. And comes back with a jab, but Ricardo Lopez comes back with the right uppercut. Looks like could have been a headbutt right there. And look, he comes up with the hands up. Don't mess with this guy. I'm waiting for that turning moment in this fight, turning point in this fight where Ricardo Lopez figures out his opponent. Nice jabs. Fake jabs. Very good head movement by his opponent. Nice quick right upcut by Lopez. Might have not landed clean, but there's a quick reaction to the jab of his opponent. Nice 1-2 right there. See, this is what I meant with that fake jab. I don't know why more fighters don't do this. I don't know why. A lot of fighters, what they think a jab feint or a feint with the jab is just moving the jab hand from here to here and bringing it back. That's a feint. But a feint is anything other, like a feint with your punch is anything other than actually trying to hit your opponent. So a feint could be this long where it stops here. It could stop here, or it could stop all the way here. That's still a feint because you're not meaning to land it. You're just feinting with it, right? So watch. That's a feint. That's a feint. And he's getting closer with every feint, so he's not just throwing it, staying in the same spot like we saw him do in the beginning, right? So I just want to show you guys something. So here in between the opponent, in between of yourself and the opponent, there's this space here, right? You got to find a clever way to take up this space. So this space starts from here to here, right? If you throw anything or just step into this space without doing anything, you're just walking into a punch because your opponent could see that. You got to be clever in the way you take up this space. And how Ricardo Lopez is doing it right here is he's throwing that fake that I've talked about already in the first couple rounds, right? His opponent's still going to step back, but Ricardo Lopez is moving up. So he feints, he steps up with it. He's going to feint again. He's going to step up with it. He's going to load up that back foot right now, and then he's going to come in with that jab. No, he steps back out. Sorry, I was wrong. And then comes in with that jab, but his opponent catches it. Okay, he wasn't doing what I thought he was doing. Still what I said applies, but not here, I guess. Let's watch this again. That's the thing. I think the reason it's not landing, he's throwing the real jab too far behind with time, like I mentioned before, behind that feint. So I feel like after that feint, no, that's the real jab. I already talked about it, so I won't stop it again. But I like how his opponent caught that jab. I want to see Ricardo Lopez use that full-length feint and then jab right after it. Or throw a left hook after it. Maybe he'll do that later in the fight. I'll let you guys know because I'm watching it with you. Nice jab by Grigsby. I'm really liking his timing and his awareness. He got my respect. I'm not even calling him an opponent anymore. I'm calling him by his name, and I learned his name just because I'm liking the respect he's getting from Ricardo Lopez with his boxing skills and his discipline also. Boom, nice jab right there. Gets away from that right hand. Oh, don't try to Don't get too froggy with the master. Don't get too confident, because he'll make you miss like this. What? Get down there. Don't get too confident. You're doing good. Stay doing good. Don't get too confident trying to get wild with your punches. It's a long uppercut from Mr. Lopez. So fourth round, and his opponent, he still hasn't totally figured out his opponent. Maybe he's seen something, but still not completely. Grigsby. Grigsby looks like he's gaining a tad bit more confidence, but I think that'll hurt him more than it'll help him. I think he should just keep doing what he's doing. Don't get too confident like that, throwing big shots with Ricardo Lopez. You're doing good with the jab, catching him a couple times. Stay nice and calm and keep doing what you're doing till later in the round. Nice double left hook, nice right hand. Nice work by both fighters, but nice work by Grigsby. Both guys making each other miss. These guys are quick and fast. There it is. Nice jab right there by Grigsby. So like I said about the big steps from Nacho Beristin's fighters, you do like commit your whole body weight forward with a big step so you can run into punches. I think that's what happened here. Like he's jumping into that. So that might be something he might want to think about before doing it. But he comes back up with his hands up before the round starts like he did every single round. Let's see, he threw a nice right hand right here. Sorry, just a little disruption coming back. Boom, nice right hand. Let's watch that again. That's pretty awesome right there. From Grigsby in the 5th round. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know why Ricardo Lopez kind of stayed still for that right hand. He didn't move back. Maybe he's trying to be a little bit more aggressive, not trying to move back as much. Let's see, but I'm really liking how Grigsby's holding his own in this fight so far. Nice feint by Lopez. Gets away from that right hand. A lot of respect for Grigsby, man. He's fighting pretty good until the 5th round. He gets away from that right hand. I don't know if I think Ricardo Lopez won this fight. I was going to say, I don't know if this one was a draw, because I think Ricardo Lopez has a draw on his record. I was starting to expect this might be it, because so far I'm liking what Grigsby's doing. But I want to see how Ricardo Lopez unlocks this safe, or uncodes this lock. Now Grigsby's he's getting a little bit more fancier with the footwork. Like I said, he's gaining confidence. I want to see how Ricardo Lopez is going to take that confidence away from him. Nice right hand right there. That was a nice little catch right there. Gets away from that right hand. Let's see right here. Grigsby steps over. Ricardo Lopez quickly finds him sleeping behind the wheel, catches him with that quick right hand. Now he's on him, but he gets tied up. Now Grigsby goes back to standing a little bit more still, and right there, nice right uppercut. Stand a little bit more still, not moving around too much. Kind of confidence went down just a tiny bit with those punches. Now he has to restart. Lopez is starting to land a couple punches more in this round. Clean punches, I mean. Nice jab from Grigsby. Nice right hand by Lopez. Oh, nice work by Lopez. Drops into that shot like I've talked about before. Catch him with the nice right hand. Nice right hand to the body. Feints to the body. I thought he was going to come back with a left hook upstairs. Nice work. That's it. I think round 6 is going to be a big round for Ricardo Lopez. Let's see what happens. Let's see, right. Where is it? Let's see if his hands are up already. Oh, it didn't show. Nice left hook. Ricardo Lopez starting a little bit faster, a little bit more aggressive this round, not playing around as much. Nice uppercuts with the left and right hand. I think this is going to be a big round for him. I just got a feeling, or it's going to be the 7th round. Steps away. Now he's using his feet for defense a little bit more than he did in the previous 2 or 3 rounds. Before that, he started standing a little bit more still, Lopez. Trying to find that right hand. I think he's trying to find a right hand, then come up with the left uppercut. Or land the left uppercut, then come back with the right hand. Ricardo Lopez is, that's my feeling. Nice double left uppercut, then the left hook. But all 3 missed. Step back from that jab. Nice body shot. With the right uppercut. Nice work. He's trying to work the body a little bit more before the clinch, before Grigsby gets a chance to really hold on to him. He looks like he has a little bit more energy moving forward. Ricardo Lopez, stiff jab right there, trying to keep Grigsby away from stepping in. Nice work to the body. I'm liking what Ricardo Lopez is doing in this round. You can't touch the head. Start going to the body, and he's landed a few nice body shots. That'll get the opponent slowed down a little bit where you could start catching them in the head. Nice jab. Nice right hand by Lopez. Nice right uppercut, left hook by Lopez. Now this is a more decisive round for him. He started landing a couple shots in the 5th round, but now he's being more aggressive. He's going to the body first with the right uppercuts and the left uppercuts. Goes under there. 30 seconds for round 6. Let's see if he picks it up a tiny bit or stays calm and then picks it up in the 7th and 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th rounds. Sticking out that jab. That's going to be it for round 6. Oh, nice shots by Lopez. A couple missed. Spun him around. Okay, guys, so that was it for round 6. I gotta say, I thought this was going to be an easy fight for Ricardo Lopez for some reason because he made a lot of his fights look easy. But big round of applause for Grigsby for so far up until the 5th round. He's still doing pretty good in the 6th round, holding his own, but I feel like Ricardo Lopez is starting to figure him out a little bit more. Like I already talked about the points of Ricardo Lopez. I really like his fake jab, how he comes out of the stool with his hands up, his all around style. And yeah, I'll pick up part 2 of this fight for next Saturday. Until then, I'll see you guys and have a great day. Bye.